da sind wir wieder zurück zu Let's Play Danganronpa. Mit der Frage, was soll das alles bedeuten?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9.
Halt's Maul.
Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Ja.
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
Hast du nicht nachgezählt?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive. She took Junko's body and made it look like she was the one who died. So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be. Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive. The one that's still alive is Mukuro, but can we really believe that? No, there's no way. There's no way Mukuro Kusawa is still alive. Warum nochmal make your argument? Sag doch einfach das Profil, ne?
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
For that to be true. Was haben wir? Ich denke mal das Profil. Then that couldn't have been her body found in the garden. Is that really possible?
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Okay, ich hatte recht.
No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32. Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Someone's made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive. Sag mal, sind die bescheuert? Wir haben doch gerade gesagt, dass jemand... Bescheuert. Die haben doch im Prinzip schon geklärt, wer der Mastermind ist. There's only one person it could be. Junko!
Here's my answer.
It's Sakura Ogami.
Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes.
Was sind die dumm oder tun die nur so? Ich meine, die haben gerade... Sie haben vorhin noch gesagt, sie haben Junkos Körper genommen und als Mukuro ausgegeben. Was ist, wenn es andersrum ist? Aber nein, darauf kommen sie ja nicht.
If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade. But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it. I gently placed man in Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say, she was gone. I did check absolutely, and I can say for
She
sure.
was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud. Too bad, too bad.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Oh?
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked her, she was dead, I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko's not the one that died? It wasn't Junko but someone else entirely? Maybe she used some sort of trick. Hangman's Gambit! Called it! Rep... Gut Replik. Du sollst nicht das S reinschmeißen, sondern das D. Aber nein, du denkst sich, fuck you. Now I understand.
That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place. Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but... that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Wir haben doch gerade geklärt, nein.
You're saying they switched? When could they even have done that? Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
There has to be some way. I need to figure out how to explain how they could have switched. They switched at the beginning, after death, the moment of death. Beginning.
Got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met is actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had, like, a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right?
Wofür gibt's Make-up?
Junko never had any tattoo like that,
Wofür
did she?
gibt's Make-up? Wofür gibt's Gesichtsfarbe? Du weißt schon, für Gesichtsmalerei. Ja,
She could have hidden it with foundation
Yeah.
or something like that.
sind die dumm oder sowas?
If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion,
Melted.
exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
Die sind so verdammt lang, wie kann die damit schreiben?
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto. But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure. Making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
Dafür, dass er so intelligent sein soll, ist er ziemlich dumm. Ach, Togami. Makoto ist auch ein bisschen, aber der braucht Hilfe. Der checkt auch
The
nicht.
reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her.
Nennst du mich gerade Flat Earther? Ich wurde noch nie so hardcore beleidigt. Du Anti-Vax-Mom. Karen! Nasser Toast. Ich wünsche dir, dass beim nächsten Mal Hände waschen deine Ärmel ins Wasser rutschen.
In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
Ja.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
Shuichi ist ein bisschen, er vertraut auch jeden, aber er hinterfragt alles. Aber er hinterfragt alles, das muss er ihm lassen. Armer Gonto.
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
So funktioniert das Ganze nicht,
Why
Monokuma.
haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
So he still refuses to admit it, but he can try to deceive us all he wants. It doesn't matter, because I've already figured it out. He tried to hide Junko's identity, and not just once, but twice. The first time was during our latest investigation. Ja. Ich glaub, das da, ne? And
Shoot!
Hm? Oder was die Leiche? Nein, ich wollte...
Shoot!
Ich wollte das nicht drücken. Was muss ich drücken? Ja, ich denke mal mit der Explosion, aber... Ja, aber es ist weg. Sind es die Fotos? But evidence that the Monokuma tried to keep it from me. Also... And then it's unknown. They were however dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife. Nee, das ist es nicht. Die DVD,
While I was in
bevor
the
wir zu
AV
Junko
room,
gekommen sind,
watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster.
hat Monokuma gesagt, ups, Ausfall. It wasn't just a monitor, the DVD player itself had apparently turned off, which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened? Oopsie, looks like it broke, out of service. What? It just happened to break just now? Now that one doesn't matter, failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right?
You made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke!
No, it wasn't a fluke. The mastermind definitely orchestrated the power outage. That's not the only time they tried to hide Junko's identity. Mastermind tried to cover up one other piece of evidence that could reveal that. What? Moment of truth. Okay. So. Fang mal an.
Better luck next time. Better luck next time.
Regst mich grad so auf, Monokuma.
Better luck next time. Are you sure about this? You're getting all riled up. That's impossible.
Ja, das Foto. Nein! Ah, das Foto. Ich wollte das Gruppenfoto einsetzen! Weißt du was? Fick dich. Kann ich laden. Goddammit. Ja, ja. Ja, bitte.
I refuse to give up yet.
What? Seit wann darf ich weitermachen, wenn ich sterbe? Was? Seit wann darf ich weiter... Seit wann krieg ich volle Health wieder? Nein, im Dreier durftest du das nicht, Sandra. Ich bin ein paar Mal im finalen Kampf kaputt gegangen. Game over. Der hat nicht gesagt, ich darf weitermachen. Ist so. Der hat gesagt, nee, vergiss es. Du bist tot. Und seit wann kriege ich alle Health wieder voll? Komm mir ein bisschen wie Cheaten vor. Weißt du, was mich hier im Einsatz so ankotzt? Das Bullet wechseln. Das ist im dritten so viel angenehmer. Ja, weil der macht das nicht auf, sondern geht gleich. Nein, da nicht. Da macht er jetzt erstmal auf. Dann muss ich scrollen und dann musst du warten, bis er wieder zumacht, bevor ich schießen kann. Ja, auf der PSP, hier nicht.
I noticed it just a little while ago.
Hier nicht
When we
mehr.
were all comparing the photos we'd gotten. In all the photos, there's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
What's so unusual about them?
The unusual circumstance common to all these pictures. The unusual circumstance ist Junko's face.
I got it!
So
Junko's
dass du
face.
volle HP kriegst. Das ist im dritten nicht, das weiß ich.
The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face.
Wo hat die den Fisch her?
It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single picture, don't you think? And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind, there's no doubt that the girl whose face is hidden here is the real Junko, which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Xanadu!
Xanadu?
I believe everything Makoto said is true.
Monoko hat halt Xanadu geschrieben.
Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. This killing game. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair. Xanadu times 2!
Was?
With this, the identity and the crimes of the mastermind have been exposed.
No, wait! Hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run. I'll prove everything. Right now!
Closing argument. What was the identity of the ultimate fashionist we met in the main hall? Where did the mastermind keep Mukuro's body? Mastermind attacked me with something. What was it? That messer. When the mastermind attacked me, who was it that stopped them? Kyoko. After the surprise attack failed, the mastermind fled from a room. What did the mastermind do with the mask after they took it off? Give it Mukuro. What was the condition of the dead body when we first found in the garden? Dead. Also, und dann mache Boom.
Here's exactly what happened. We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko and Oshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the mastermind, Junko and Oshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue. Until Junko decided to put her body to use. Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school.
I didn't lay out my reasoning right. I need to re-energy. Wirklich? Es könnte dasselbe sein, ganz ehrlich.
The killer is you! Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school. So she put on a mask and then attacked me.
Wie hat ihre Frise unter die
Making
Maske
sure I'd
gebracht?
gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room. Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place. Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence. She needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder. And the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma. The real Junko Enoshima.
Da.
That's the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
What? Are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Over? Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear.
She's British!
If you swear your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, in some of our home cooking.
Ich meine, wer kann da schon Nein sagen? Status, Ehre will niemand, aber hausgemachte Spezialitäten? Sign me up?
Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
Okay, soll ich drücken? No thanks.
Oh, did you
Jojo!
think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you.
Die klang gerade wie die Französin, die im Intro die Stelle singt. Wie Kyokos französische Synchronsprecherin. Aus dem Intro, dieses französische. Na, ja. Aber du weißt doch, wie die französische Stelle.
It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
This is the mastermind. She's the real Junko Enoshima.
Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free.
Apropos, das hat man schon in der ersten Ding gesehen. Die Fake Junko hatte Sommersprossen. Die nicht. Das wollte ich gerade schon sagen. Ihre Gesichter sind ja relativ gleich von Junko und von Mukuro, ne? Von der Form her. Die glauben doch nicht ernsthaft, dass man mit der Qualität von den Bildern die echte Junko von Mukuro unterscheiden kann. Du siehst auf den Bildern noch nicht mal die Punkte, die Sommersprossen von Mukuro. Und ich meine, der Rest des Körpers, die hätte man nicht unterscheiden können. Die Boobs hast du gesehen, du hast nur das Gesicht nicht gesehen. Ja, aber die Boobs hast du auf den Bildern gesehen, nur das Gesicht nicht. Nee.
Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day.
Die haben eine Kartoffelqualität dafür, dass sie die Ultimas sind.
It was like I was stuck in purgatory. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?